Everyone, Firebright here today. Today we're going to be doing something quite different. We're going to be doing the top 10 best shaders of all time in MCPE, of course, for the brand new update. Anyways, you can find all the downloads to every single one of these shaders in the description down below. And now that we got that out of the way, let's head on to the number 10 spot. Boys, so we're going to start things very strong with the EUG Shader Experiment Ultra Shader. This barely takes up any storage. Anyways, guys, let's just take a look around, and immediately right off the bat, you will notice that we actually do have a player shadow that corresponds with our movement, so that is pretty cool. And of course, you cannot forget how awesome the water looks like. Just look at how amazing the water looks like. Let's go underwater and let's see how everything looks like. As you can tell, everything looks super good in my opinion. The player shadow is possibly one of the coolest things about this shader, and of course, you cannot forget the realistic looking sky and that nice big bright sun right over there. And let's just look over there. As you can tell, there is the nice looking sunset. We have a beautiful looking sunset, honestly. Alright guys, now the best part about the shaders is actually during the rain time. So we're gonna set this bad boy to the rain time and you will see how amazing this shader looks like. Just look at this. Look at that. So as you can tell, this is actually super realistic because everything has like this shiny glare to it, which I personally think is super good. And this is how everything looks like. Everything is basically the same, although there is a little bit of stars in the sky, which makes it really awesome in my opinion. Anyways guys, let's head on to the number 9 spot. So at the number 9 spot, we have the Bicubic Shader V2.5 Ultra. Now this shader is well known for having one of the most beautiful waters in all of Minecraft shaders. So let's just take a quick look over here. Just take a look at this water right here. It is super beautiful in my opinion, but let's just go underwater and see how everything looks like. These are legit rays from the sun that go to the ocean floor, which is so cool in my opinion. So if you're gonna make like some sort of underwater house, then I highly recommend you use this shader to just make it look far more better. And of course, you cannot forget the realistic looking clouds. They look so good in my opinion. And over there we have the sun right over there. This is one of the most beautiful sunsets of all time, guys. Now the reason why the sunset is super good is because light from the sun goes on the water right over here, and it creates one of the most beautiful looking waters in all of Minecraft shaders. There is legit light from the sun that is reflecting on the water, so that's really cool. Just look at this. This is definitely something you will see from a PC shader, and it's just amazing that us mobile players can have access to such great shaders like this. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this bad boy to midnight just to see how everything looks like. And for the most part, everything is basically the same, although there is a little bit of stars in the sky, and of course we have a nice realistic looking moon over there. This is good for lower end devices, so if you have a low end device yourself, then you should be able to run this shader no problem. Anyways guys, let's head on to the number 8 spot. At the number 8 spot, we have the Freshwater Shader Beta right over here. Now this barely takes up any storage. It only takes around 1.2 megabytes worth of storage, so we have nothing to worry about. And immediately right off the bat, you can tell that these shadows are far more defined. Just look at this right up here. This is super cool in my opinion. And let's just actually go up to the surface, and one thing that you notice right off the bat is that everything is far more vibrant and everything just has like a more saturated feel to it, if that makes any sense. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going near the water because this is called the freshwater shader, and that is because the water is super impressive. Just look at that. They have like those nice little textures to it, moving textures, so I really do like that. Just like the last shader, the underwater looks so impressive. Just look at all of this. This is once again something you would see from a PC shader, and if you actually go near a block, you will notice that the block is super wavy, which adds a little bit of realism to this pack, so I absolutely love that. And just look at how beautiful that sunset is. One of the most beautiful sunsets of all time. And of course, the water actually gives off a little bit of light even during the night time, so that's honestly really cool in my opinion. Anyways guys, that is pretty much it for the number 8 spot. Let's head on to the number 7 spot. On the number 7 spot, we have the Royal Shaders at GTX. Now this takes up a little bit of storage, but personally I think it is worth it. So now let's just take a look at this shader right up here, and right off the bat you will notice that it is once again super vibrant and the shadows are far more defined. And once again, another highlight of this shader is how beautiful the water looks like. Just look at that water guys. Once again, light from the sun even goes on the water right up here. So this is how the underwater looks like. As you can tell, there's even light that comes up from the sun that hits the ocean floor. And guys, another cool thing about the shaders is how realistic all the sky looks like. This is a photorealistic sky right up here. Next, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this bad boy to the sunset just to see how everything looks like. And here is the sun right over here. It looks really good in my opinion, especially near all of that water. And right off the bat in the sky, you'll notice that there is some stars, so I really do appreciate the attention to detail. Anyways guys, that is pretty much it for the number 7 spot. Let's head on to the number 6 spot. Coming in at the number 6 spot, we have the Titanium shaders right over here. Now this only takes up around a 10.8 megabytes worth of storage. Right off the bat, you will notice that like most of these shaders, everything is far more vibrant, and it is basically like similar to all the rest of the shaders. But the cool thing about this is the water. So as you can tell, the water is not very shiny. It is actually way more darker than the regular traditional Minecraft, and I know some of you guys prefer this type of water, so I decided to include it in this list. So this is how the water looks like, guys. But believe it or not, if you actually go underwater, it still looks pretty good in my opinion. Everything's a little bit more clearer, but you can still see light that comes from the sun and that actually goes through the water and to the ocean floor. Let's go find the sunset. Yep, that is how the sunset looks like. It looks rather decent in my opinion. I've seen better sunsets, but this one is still pretty good in my opinion. And not to mention that this does actually work for lower end devices, so if you have a low end device yourself, you should be able to use this shader. But don't worry guys, I also have shaders specialized for high end devices that will appear later on in this list, so guys just stay tuned for that. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this bad boy to midnight just like so, and just look at how everything looks like. Oh my god, and there seems to be a brawl going on. Yo, the iron golem is just defending all the villagers. Oh my god, he's just killing all the mobs. That's pretty derpy. But anyways guys, that is pretty much it for the number 6 spot. Let's head on to the number 5 spot. On the number 5 spot, we have the clickbait shaders right over here. Now this is a rather strange name for a shader, but regardless, it is still pretty cool. But anyways, the cool thing about the shaders is that it will run on lower end devices. So basically, no matter what device you have, you should be able to run this. So let's just go underwater and see how everything looks like. And oh my god, yo, things are so beautiful over here. Absolutely love it. You know, it just looks so awesome in my opinion. And this is how it looks like during the sunset. I think it looks super good, like some of the other shaders. Light from the sun goes on the water as well, even during the sunset. This is definitely one of the best sunsets you will ever get in Minecraft Pocket Edition. Anyways guys, that is pretty much it for the number 5 spot. Let's head on to the number 4 spot. So on the number 4 spot, we're starting to get a little bit more juicy. So we have the ESTN shaders combined with the Hollywood blocks texture packs. And basically what this does, it adds a 3D texture pack and a shader pack to form the ultimate shaders right over here. So right off the bat guys, if we look really carefully into this log, you'll actually notice that it has some 3D textures to it. So that is actually really cool in my opinion. But if you look really carefully, even the grass has some 3D textures to it, which I think is really cool in my opinion. And anyways, we're just now going to look at the water, and this is how the water looks like. The water looks really different in my opinion, but personally I really like the style of this, although it is quite unique. But anyways, now what we're going to be doing is of course going underwater to see how everything looks like. And whoa, oh my god, yo, that's really cool. So the lighting from the water over here corresponds with the ocean floor, and hey, you can't really complain about that. You always gotta appreciate the attention to detail done to these packs. But I mean, just look at this. This is legit 3D textures right over here. I believe this is how the sand looks like, which is really awesome in my opinion. And that is how the sun looks. It looks really different for some reason. Instead of being like this orangey color, it has like a purple sunset to it, but for some reason it's mostly purple. I'm not too sure why, but hey, I'm not complaining. I think it still looks amazing regardless. But anyways guys, that is pretty much it for the number 4 spot. Let's head on to the number 3 spot. Number 3 spot, we have the ESBE 2G V4.3 shader right over here, and this is one of the best shaders out there guys. So we really are starting to get into the juicy stuff. So right out the bat, you will notice that these shadows are actually far more detailed and defined. Anyways, I personally think this shader looks best during the nighttime, and let me explain to you guys why. Actually, let me show you guys why. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting it to midnight. So on top of already having stars, this shader has like those green lights. I'm really sorry. I forgot what they're called, guys. I forgot what these were called. You guys always roast me in the comments for not knowing what it is. But guys, please tell me again in the comment section, what are those green lights supposed to be? And this is how the sunset looks like. It looks really good in my opinion. So over here, we have one of the most impressive aspects of this shader, and that is of course the water. So right off the bat, the water is super wavy, and it's something you would see like like literally in real life. And of course there's a little bit of light that comes from the sun. All I'm going to do now is go underwater, and so this is how everything looks like underwater. As you can tell, everything is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. A huge fan of it. Light once again comes from the sky, goes through the water and onto the ocean floor to create this beautiful looking effect, guys. Anyways, that is pretty much it for the number 3 spot. Let's head on to the number 2 spot. We have the TSPE shader medium. Now this shader is more recommended for higher end devices, so if you have a lower end device yourself, then you might experience a little bit of lag, but regardless, that still doesn't take away from how amazing this shader is. So right off the bat, you notice that we actually do have a player shadow over there, which corresponds with our movements. Even when we walk, the shadow as well does the walking animation as well, which I think is really cool. So there's a sun right over there. It looks super good in my opinion, and this is the only shaders in this list that actually includes a little bit of ray tracing. Well, it's not exactly like ray tracing, but guys, that is full on rays from the sun that goes through the air, which I personally think is really good. Obviously it's not like the PC RTX or ray tracing, but it still gets the job done, and it's actually pretty impressive considering the fact that we are on our mobile device. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this bad boy to the nighttime, and you will see the amazing night sky. So here we are to nighttime, and right off the bat you notice that there's a lot of stars, comets, asteroids, basically all that good stuff, really space related, and we have a realistic looking moon over there, and this just looks so beautiful. I'm absolutely in love with it. But guys, there's even more. So we're here at the rain, and if you actually look really carefully on any of these blocks, for example, you will notice that there's even a raindrop animation. So when the raindrop actually touches the floor, you will notice that there's like a raindrop animation, something you literally see in real life, and it's just so cool how we finally have something so realistic in Minecraft function. And on top of that, guys, there's even more. There's a full-on rainbow right over here. Just look at that rainbow. That rainbow is absolutely beautiful. I think this is the only shaders in this list that actually does include a rainbow, so that's another massive plus, guys. Anyways, now for the last thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be checking out the water. So I'm going to quickly go find a body of water. So here we are at a body of water, and it's not really that impressive, but what's more impressive is when we actually do go underwater. So let's just go underwater and you'll see how impressive this looks like. Just look at this. This is so beautiful. This is legit something you would see in real life, and it's just so amazing how we have something so realistic in Minecraft function. Even our hand has the same effect as the ocean floor, which I gotta appreciate the attention to detail in the shader. But anyways, guys, that is pretty much it for the number 2 spot. Let's head on to the number 1 and best shader of all time. The number 1 spot, we actually have a combination of multiple texture packs where basically we will combine every single one of them to get the ultimate shader pack. So guys, one thing that I really need you guys to actually pay attention and remember is that the order of the packs does matter. So first, you want to activate the EUG shader. Then after you're done activating that one, you want to activate the Hollywood Blocks shader right over here. Then you want to activate the CMR photorealism pack. And last but not least, the Fuse realism, guys. So please just make sure to follow that order. So all you want to do is you want to activate this shader first, EUG, then Hollywood Blocks, that CMR photorealism, and last but not least, Fuse realism. Please guys, please pay attention to this, because if you do anything wrong in this step, then the shader just will be completely ugly. But guys, this is the number 1 shader in all of Minecraft function, and I'm so excited to finally show you. So anyways, let's just showcase this amazing shader, and right out the bat, you will notice that all the textures are super realistic. Look at this log right over here. It is super photorealistic. Same goes for the grass. I think the grass looks really awesome in my opinion, and of course we do have a player shadow, and the water looks pretty decent in my opinion. But anyways, let's just actually go underwater to see how everything looks like. But there you go, guys. I think the water looks super amazing. So the underwater isn't very impressive, but I mean, it still gets the job done, and I still think it is a very beautiful. But guys, this is definitely the definition of the best shader pack. Here are some of the 3D textures. That pumpkin is a full-on 3D, which I think is super cool, and of course the water is super wavy. Let's take a look at the leaves, guys. There you go. That is how the leaves look like. They look super photorealistic as well, which is pretty cool. Now guys, let's just place down our gold block. So that's how the gold block look like. It looks really good in my opinion. Next up we have the lapis lazuli, which looks really realistic. I personally do like it. And Next up, we have the block of diamond. So that's how the block of diamond looks like. And next we have a 3D block, the prismarine block right over there. As you can tell, if you look really carefully, there is a bunch of 3D elements to it, which I think is super cool, and possibly one of the best looking blocks is, of course, all the different types of ore. So we're going to start off with the diamond ore over here. So that's how the diamond ore looks like. I think it looks really good. Then we have the lapis lazuli, we have the redstone, we have the coal, we have the emeralds, and I forgot the gold. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this bad boy to rain, because it looks even better during the rain time. Just look at this. This is so amazing. This is something you would see from a PC shader. So when it's raining, all the textures have like some sort of shiny glare to it, if that makes any sense. So that's how the sunset looks like. It looks really good. But anyways, guys, I hope you did enjoy this episode of Shady Sunday. I believe this is week 4 of Shady Sunday. Anyways, guys, if you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload from the channel, because I upload a lot of Minecraft related content, from tutorials, shaders, etc. Anyways, guys, you can find all the downloads to all the shaders that I use in the video down below. Anyways, guys, that is pretty much it for the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you later, French fries.